Stop scrolling. Before you click away to another video, let me ask you a question that might change how you see your entire life. Is your love, your acceptance, and your inherent kindness your greatest strength, or is it the most dangerous trap you have set for yourself? For years, you've been told that being good means saying yes, helping out, and never causing a fuss. You believe that keeping the peace makes you a good person. But what if that belief is fundamentally wrong? What if the very act of trying to please everyone is silently destroying your boundaries, draining your resources, and actively making you the perfect target for emotional predators? This isn't a video about being mean. This is a video about being strategic. It's about understanding the brutal truth. People-pleasing is not kindness. It is a psychological defense mechanism born out of a deep-seated fear of rejection and abandonment. It's a transaction where you trade your true self and your needs for a temporary hit of validation. Today we are going deep. This is a 5,000-word blueprint to your true self. We will expose the 5 dangerous signs that confirm you are caught in the people-pleasing cycle. We will reveal exactly why this makes you a psychological goldmine for those who wish to exploit you, especially narcissists. But most importantly, by the end of this session, I will give you the 7-step strategy, a clear, actionable path to transform your blind kindness into a source of strategic, unbreakable power. You will learn how to set boundaries that feel like steel, not apologies. Are you ready to face the truth? Because the moment you understand the cost of your goodness, everything changes. To break free, we must understand the chains, and those chains were forged in your earliest years. The childhood roots of fear and abandonment. People-pleasing is almost always rooted in childhood experiences. Think back. Did you grow up in an environment where love felt conditional? Where you had to be the good one, the quiet one, or the responsible one to avoid conflict or earn praise? For children of unstable, critical, or narcissistic parents, their fundamental need for safety becomes inextricably linked to their ability to anticipate and satisfy the needs of others. The child learns, if I keep everyone happy, I am safe. If I say no, I risk being abandoned. This early programming teaches you to see your own needs as secondary, or worse, as a source of danger that must be hidden. The ultimate goal isn't generosity, it's survival. You become excellent at reading the room, at anticipating moods, and at shape-shifting into the person you think others want you to be. This is self-abandonment masquerading as selflessness. Brain chemistry, the approval addiction. Now let's talk science. Every time you successfully please someone, you get a rush of dopamine. Your brain registers that approval as a reward. This positive feedback loop means your brain becomes chemically addicted to seeking external validation. You don't just want people to like you, your neural pathways demand it. This is why saying no is so physically painful. When you contemplate setting a boundary, your brain interprets it as a chemical withdrawal. It triggers the same anxiety and panic response associated with genuine danger. Because to your subconscious, saying no threatens your survival mechanism, the approval you've been conditioned to rely on. You are not weak. You are fighting a biological and psychological addiction. Kindness versus people-pleasing, the core difference. We need to draw a clear line. Kindness is a choice. It comes from a place of abundance. It has clear boundaries. It expects nothing in return, and it is given when it is aligned with your values and resources. People-pleasing is a compulsion. It comes from a place of scarcity and fear. It has porous, collapsing boundaries. It secretly demands gratitude and is given out of a need to control the outcome, your fear of disapproval. When you operate from a place of fear, people-pleasing, you hand your power over to the person you are trying to please. When you operate from a place of power, kindness, your actions become a genuine strength. Let's now expose the specific behaviors that are draining your life force and paving the road for manipulators.
The most immediate and dangerous sign you are a people pleaser is the absolute total collapse of your personal boundaries. The inability to say no. For you, the word no feels like a physical punch. It sits in your throat, coated in guilt, and you can't expel it. You'll tie yourself into knots, making excuses, creating elaborate fictional conflicts in your schedule just to avoid the simple, clean word. But here is the critical truth. Saying yes to others when you mean no to yourself is the highest form of self-betrayal. When you consistently say yes to things you resent, you are teaching the world two dangerous lessons. I'm infinitely available. My time and needs are negotiable. The problem isn't that others ask. The problem is that you have trained them to believe they can demand. When your boundaries are invisible, people don't see them as walls. They see them as an open invitation. The silent resentment. This collapsed boundary system leads directly to the silent killer of all your relationships. Resentment. Every yes you force out becomes a small, toxic brick added to a wall of suppressed anger inside you. You start feeling angry at your friends for asking for favors. You get furious at your boss for the extra work. You resent your partner for taking advantage. But stop. The person you are most angry at is the reflection in the mirror, the one who failed to speak up for you. This resentment volcano eventually erupts, often over something trivial, confusing everyone around you. They see you go from 0 to 100 over a minor issue, failing to realize it's the culmination of 100 unspoken no's that you swallowed over months or years. Case study: the friend who never pays. Imagine a friend who constantly forgets their wallet or asks to borrow money they never return. A non-people pleaser says, "I'm not comfortable lending money right now." You, the people pleaser, not only lend the money, but also offer to cover dinner. Why? Not because you can afford it, but because the temporary relief from the confrontation is worth the financial and emotional cost. You would rather pay a high price for peace than risk the low cost of a momentary, awkward conversation. You are funding your own exploitation. The first step to power: understand this. A clear no is far kinder than a resentful yes. The resentment you harbor is a warning sign that your kindness has morphed into a self-destructive habit.
We've talked about resentment as the fuel of the people pleaser. Let's look at its mechanics, which lead directly to anxiety and depression. The unacknowledged ledger. People pleasers often keep a silent, invisible ledger of all their good deeds. They track every favor, every sacrifice, every act of putting others first. Subconsciously, you are operating on a silent agreement. I am being incredibly kind to you, so you must, in turn, validate me, appreciate me, and never leave me. The moment this silent ledger goes unpaid, when your kindness is taken for granted, or worse, when they ask for more, you feel betrayed. This is because your goodness was transactional, designed to secure an outcome, validation, safety, not given freely. This feeling of being taken for granted is the core of the resentment volcano. The pressure builds from the effort of maintaining the facade, the emotional cost of ignoring your own needs, the pain of the promised return, validation, never arriving. The physical and mental burden. Suppressing your true feelings doesn't make them disappear, it makes them manifest physically and mentally. This is the link between people-pleasing and chronic mental health issues. Anxiety. Your body is constantly on high alert, trying to anticipate the needs of others and the potential disaster of disappointing them. This hypervigilance keeps your nervous system fried. Depression. Eventually, the constant self-betrayal leads to a loss of self. You feel hollow because you're living a life based on everyone else's expectations. You realize you have no space left for your own joy or desire. This profound sense of emptiness is often experienced as depression. The toxic language of self-talk. Listen to the toxic self-talk that fuels this resentment. They never appreciate what I do for them, focusing on external validation. It's not fair that I always have to do this, refusing to acknowledge you chose to do it. If I stop doing this, they will realize they don't need me. the ultimate fear of irrelevance. You must shift the language. The moment you feel resentment, it is a signal. You have a boundary violation. And the violator is you. You allowed it to happen. This awareness is not self-blame. It is the first step towards self-responsibility and power. Stop blaming the recipient of your kindness and start holding yourself accountable for your own boundaries.
The third sign, and one of the most psychologically damaging, is the fake persona trap, the shapeshifter identity. Because your goal is to be accepted by everyone, you learn to become a social chameleon. You adopt different versions of yourself depending on who is in the room. With your boss, you are the hyper-competent, overachieving, never-tired employee. With your friend, you are the easygoing, always available, non-judgmental therapist. With your partner, you are the agreeable, passive, conflict-avoidant lover. The problem is that these personas are often contradictory. You are exhausting yourself by trying to keep track of which mask to wear, and this creates a profound crisis of identity. The loss of your true self. The constant shape-shifting means you are never fully present as yourself. You don't know who you are, what you truly believe, or what you genuinely want anymore because you've outsourced your identity to the expectations of others. When asked, "What do you want to do?" your brain panics. You instinctively scan the other person's face for clues rather than connecting with your own internal desire. This loss of self is the ultimate price of people-pleasing. How manipulators exploit the persona. This fragmented identity makes you easy prey for manipulators, particularly those with narcissistic tendencies. A narcissist's greatest skill is identifying and leveraging weakness. They don't need to break you. They just need to find the specific persona you wear that is most easily controlled. If your boss persona is obsessed with performance, the narcissist, who might be a colleague or even a partner, will use performance-based criticism to control you. If your friend persona is built on never causing a fuss, the narcissist will use guilt and pity to get what they want, knowing you will collapse rather than stand up for yourself. The test of authenticity. Ask yourself, if everyone in your life gathered in one room, would they be able to recognize the same person? Or would they be confused by the different versions of you? If the latter is true, you are living a lie, and that lie is a ticking clock until you completely lose sight of your own core values. The truth is, people who genuinely love you will love your authentic self. Those who only love the masks are the ones you need to let go of.
This sign drills down to the core issue. The people-pleaser's value system is entirely external. The doer versus the beer. Your identity is built solely around what you do for people, not who you are. You only feel valuable, worthy, or good when you are actively helping, sacrificing, or solving someone else's problem. This creates a toxic equation. Value equals action plus approval. If you stop the action, your mind screams that your value drops to zero. The manipulator's bait. A manipulator knows this vulnerability. They understand that to control you, they simply need to threaten your ability to do for them, or conversely, continually express a desperate need for your help. Emotional blackmail. They might say, if you really cared about me, you would do this. Your core identity, the helpful, caring person, is instantly threatened, compelling you to say yes, even at personal cost. The feeling of being unnecessary. When no one needs your help, you feel extreme anxiety, often fabricating crises or overextending yourself just to reestablish your value. You create demand for your own supply. This is a profound form of codependency. The codependency trap. Codependency is the ultimate people-pleaser relationship. You need them to need you, and they need you to serve them. Your goodness becomes the mechanism for controlling your relationships. You think, if I become indispensable, they can never leave me. This is a lie. True connection is built on mutual respect and genuine affection, not on being a perpetually available resource. When you look at your life, what happens when you have a free day?
Do you feel relaxed, or do you feel a creeping anxiety, a vague sense of being unproductive or unnecessary? If the latter, you have replaced your internal sense of self-worth with your external performance. The hardest truth? You are enough, just as you are. Your value is innate. The day you stop doing to earn love and start being yourself to attract genuine connection is the day you break free from this identity crisis. Until then, you remain a functional, talented, and highly exploitable resource.
We now arrive at the most crucial point: why people pleasers are the ultimate perfect targets for emotional predators, specifically those with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, or strong narcissistic traits. The narcissistic supply chain. A narcissist survives on narcissistic supply, the attention, admiration, validation, and resources extracted from others. The people pleaser is their goldmine because they offer an unending, self-replenishing supply of everything the narcissist needs. Unquestioning adoration. You rarely criticize, always validate, and consistently put their needs first. Porosity. Your lack of boundaries means the narcissist can penetrate your life and resources with ease. The low conflict tolerance. You will sacrifice your own truth to avoid their manufactured outrage, giving the narcissist constant control. The love bombing phase is a test. In the beginning, the narcissist love bombs you, praising your kindness, your generosity, and your selflessness. This is not genuine admiration. It is the manipulator's test. They are checking to see how quickly you cave to flattery and how eagerly you respond to their fabricated need. The people pleaser hears, "Finally, someone sees how good I am," and falls into the trap, doubling down on their self-sacrificing behavior. The mechanism of erosion. Once secured, the manipulation begins, using the people pleaser's greatest fears against them. Gaslighting. The narcissist denies reality, causing the people pleaser to doubt their own memory and perception. This strengthens the need for external validation. Am I crazy? I need them to tell me what's real. The blame shift. When a conflict arises, the narcissist immediately blames the people pleaser, often claiming, "You aren't trying hard enough," or "A truly good person wouldn't question me." The people pleaser's fear of not being a good person instantly triggers compliance. The emotional drain. The narcissist demands endless emotional labor, using your empathy as a tool to offload their own insecurities and emotional volatility. You become their personal emotional dumping ground. The final danger. The most dangerous thing is that the people pleaser often enjoys the initial feeling of being so desperately needed. It validates their broken equation. I am valuable because I can fix this person. But you cannot fix a narcissist. You can only burn yourself to keep them warm. This realization that your kindness is being weaponized is the necessary spark for change. You must stop seeing their need as your purpose and start seeing their demand as a threat to your survival.
It is time to move from diagnosis to action. This is the 7-step strategy, a deliberate, strategic process to rewire your brain, set unbreakable boundaries, and transform your goodness into genuine power. Step 1. The mirror test and the fear flip. Identify the cost. Action. Take 10 minutes to write down 3 things you genuinely want to accomplish this week for yourself: a hobby, a workout, an hour of quiet reading. Then, next to it, write down 3 things you have already said yes to that you secretly resent. The flip. Shift your primary fear. Stop fearing rejection from others. Start fearing losing yourself.
Every time you feel the compulsion to people-please, tell yourself, I choose strategic self-preservation over temporary external approval. Step 2, the 24-hour rule. Interrupt the compulsion. The problem: people pleasers say yes instantly to eliminate the immediate anxiety of confrontation. The solution? Never give an immediate answer. When someone asks for time, a favor, or a commitment, your only response is, "That sounds like something I'd love to think about. Let me check my schedule or resources, and I will get back to you in 24 hours. Why it works? This interrupts the chemical reaction. It removes the pressure and gives your rational brain 24 hours to check your resources, your values, and your genuine capacity before the anxiety-driven yes takes over. Rule 3. Establish iron boundaries. Short, clear, no apology. Your new no must be concise and free of apology or long explanation. Explanations are fuel for manipulators. They look for a loophole. Bad example. Oh my goodness, I wish I could, but my cat is sick, and I promised my friend I'd do laundry, so maybe next time, I'm so sorry. Iron boundary example. The broken record. Thank you for asking, but I'm unable to help with that. My resources are committed elsewhere right now. That doesn't work for me, but I hope you find help. Rule: after the clear no, do not offer an alternative solution unless you genuinely want to. Let the awkward silence exist. It is not your job to manage their disappointment.
Step 5. The 5-minute favor rule. Measure the investment. For any request, mentally ask, is this a 5-minute favor or is this a 5-hour commitment? If it is a significant request, over 1 hour of your time or money, you must check, does this investment align with my goals, my values, and my energy level for the week? If the answer is no, revert to step 3. You are transitioning from being a resource to being a partner, and a partner is selective about their contributions. Step 6. Master the art of receiving, breaking the transactional cycle. People pleasers struggle to receive help, compliments, or gifts because it disrupts their self-worth equation. Value equals giver, not receiver. Action. Practice receiving. When someone compliments you, simply say, thank you. When someone offers help, accept it graciously. When someone buys you dinner, let them. This breaks the cycle of transactional kindness and teaches your subconscious that you are worthy of receiving, just as you are worthy of giving. Step 7. Replace the need for external validation, the internal scorecard. Shift your focus from the external scorecard, how many people you pleased, to the internal scorecard, how well you aligned with your own values. Daily check-in. Before bed, ask yourself, did I honor my truth today? Did I respect my time? Did I do something that made my future self proud? You are aiming for self-approval, which is sustainable, instead of social approval, which is fleeting and addictive. Step 8. Celebrate a no. Reinforce the new behavior. Every time you successfully set a boundary, no matter how small, treat it as a major victory. Give yourself a moment of positive self-reinforcement. This is the final crucial step to rewire the dopamine system. You are teaching your brain that setting a boundary feels better, provides a reward, than collapsing one. You are swapping the temporary relief of pleasing others for the lasting power of pleasing yourself. We have covered the toxic roots, the physical toll, and the predatory danger of blind goodness. You now possess the knowledge that your greatest weakness isn't your inability to be kind, but your inability to be selective with your kindness. The final choice. You now stand at a crossroads. You can choose to return to the path of self-betrayal, where you sacrifice your life to manage the feelings of others, only to be exploited and resentful. Or you can choose the path of strategic goodness, a path where your yes is rare and therefore powerful, a path where your boundaries are steel,
protecting your energy so that when you do choose to help, it is with integrity and genuine life-altering impact. This is the difference. The people pleaser burns out quickly, is taken for granted, and is eventually forgotten. The strategically good person endures, inspires respect, creates genuine loyalty, and builds a legacy of true, powerful effectiveness. You have the blueprint. The choice is yours. Will you let your goodness be a weakness, or will you master it and turn it into your ultimate power? If this video has opened your eyes to your own patterns, it is time to take action. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose strategic power. Your goodness is not a limitless resource to be exploited. It is a powerful tool to be wielded with precision and wisdom. Protect your energy, honor your truth, and watch as the quality of your relationships and your life radically transforms.